Good afternoon and welcome back to Bert Lacasse Park for game number 2 on our stream schedule today. It is game number 7 in the tournament, and it will feature the visiting team for this game, the Waterloo Tigers, taking on the home team for this game, the Tecumseh Thunder. These two teams certainly have a big show to follow up. If you watched our previous stream, the Ilderton Riverhawks defeated last year's defending champion, the Leaside Leafs, by a score of 4-3 on a walk-off home run by Brad Verhoeven in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're going to quickly go through the starting lineups for today's games. First, for the visiting team from Waterloo, leading off and playing shortstop, number 39, Sean Alp. Batting second, the left fielder, number 33, Jack Symington. Batting third, the DH, number 24, Jaden Kemp. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 19, Nolan Misa. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 45, Steve Whalen. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 25, Varun Krish. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 56, Gabrielle Pereira. Batting eighth and catching, number 28, Brady Hall. And batting ninth and playing center field is number 12, Justin Skorupski. The starting pitcher for the Waterloo Tigers is left-hander, number 32, Adam Robertson. Now the starting lineup for the Tecumseh Thunder, leading off and playing center field, number 1, Miles Miller. Batting second, the second baseman, number 19, Caden Gomes. Batting third and playing shortstop is number 16, Dan Workington. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 27, Cam Goddard. Batting fifth and playing right field is number 13, Ross Barker. Batting sixth and doing the catching today is number 3, Eric Cunningham. Batting seventh, the DH, number 32, Noah Ruddle. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 24, Austin Olds. And batting ninth and playing third base is number 18, Kalman Chiz. The starting pitcher for the Tecumseh Thunder is veteran right-hander Chris Horvath. We are just about set to go here from Bert Lacasse Park. As we get into this game, we'll go through some updates, both from the games that were played before in the 12 o'clock time slot, as well as the games that are coming up in the 3 p.m. time slot. There are 3 other games happening along with this one. So we will keep you updated on everything as we get ourselves ready to go for our second game.
The shortstop, number 39, Sean L.
Like we said, coming into this game, certainly these two teams have quite a reputation to live up to here. The Tecumseh Thunder, a powerhouse throughout the mid-2010s, and certainly still have a good core of players from that team that were good throughout those years, as Horvath misses outside for ball 1. They'll be looking for a deep run this year as they went 2-2 at last year's tournament. For the Waterloo Tigers, this is their second year in senior baseball, as that one is fouled back and out of play. Last year, the Tigers, nicknamed the Cardiac Kids, made it to the final 5 of this tournament before bowing out on a 4-3 walk-off win for the Leaside Leafs, who later went on to win the tournament. That ball also fouled out of play. It's Horvath up 1-2 here on shortstop Sean Alp, batting for the Waterloo Tigers. Alp on the season batting .407, 11 hits, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 8 runs scored, and 5 RBIs as that slider misses up and in for a ball. Runs the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Horvath's battery mate Eric Cunningham gives the sign for this pitch. Here it is. Fastball swung on and missed. And Alp is down on strikes for the first out here in the top of the first.
Left fielder, number 33, Jack Symington.
So Jack Symington going to make his way to the plate to bat here for the Tigers. Not much to say about Chris Horvath. He's been around the senior ranks here for a while in Ontario. One of the more respected pitchers. Currently sitting with a 3-2 record this year in 35 innings. 27 hits, 15 runs, 11 of those earned. He's got 8 walks and 51 strikeouts as he gets Symington to swing and miss at that pitch for an 0-1 count. That pitch up and in for ball one. Symington, last year's COBA Major League regular season MVP. Currently hitting .378 on this campaign. 17 hits and 45 at bats, 6 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, as well as 15 runs scored and 16 RBIs on the season, as that pitch is fouled into the netting for strike 2. Should be a good matchup this afternoon between these two teams. The Thunder, a very veteran-laden team with a number of players that have been around this tournament for a number of years. The Waterloo Tigers, even though they are in their second year of senior baseball, that ball hit on the hands. Shortstop Dan Workington going to camp under that. They'll make the catch for the second out. Even though this senior team from Waterloo is only in their second year,
Jaden Kemp.
They certainly boast a roster with a few players that have been around senior baseball for a while. Guys like Jack Symington, who played in Sarnia for a bit. Sean Alp, who has played for Milton as well as Arundel during some time. Wade Sage and Peter Zittner, who both played in Oakville, as well as Brady Hall, who played in Milton for a bit too. So certainly some guys that have been around this league. As designated hitter Jaden Kemp takes a massive hack at that one and fouls it into the netting here for strike 1. Horvath's one of those pitchers that he's going to come after you until you hit his fastball. That one misses for a ball. Looked like it might have caught a piece of Jaden Kemp, but umpire says no, so count now 1-1. He's going to step out for a second. I guess that one was called a strike. So the umpire showing the count as 0-2. Here's the pitch from Horvath. He's going to miss outside for a ball. And just underway here, top of the first inning from Bert Lacasse Park. No score between the Waterloo Tigers and Tecumseh Thunder. Dan Esty on the call with you here for the CABC. Glad you're able to join us this afternoon for game number 7 of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier. A slider up in the zone for a ball. Scoreboard showing 3-1 for the count. Umpire showed 2 balls before. We're just waiting to see what the count is here right now. Pitch from Horvath. Slider that's going to be chopped foul. So we know now there are 2 strikes for sure. So we'll see if the umpire shows the count here. It looks like Cunningham's putting up 2, so it is 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Horvath. Fastball that swung on and missed. Good first inning there for Chris Horvath as he strikes out a pair, sitting down the Waterloo Tigers in order.
For Waterloo in the top of the first, no runs on no hits. There were no errors and no runners left.
So for Waterloo in the top half of the first inning, no runs on no hits. There were no Tecumseh errors, no runners left on base. The score after 1/2 inning of play here at Bert Lacasse Park, it is the Waterloo Tigers. No score, with the Tecumseh Thunder coming to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll be right back after a quick break. Day 1 action of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier, brought to you by CABC Baseball. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning here at Bert Lacasse Park as center fielder Miles Miller digs in for his first at bat and takes a first pitch strike from left-hander Adam Robertson of the Waterloo Tigers. That one going to miss down and away for a ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Miles. It's going to miss outside for a ball as well. Robertson was a pickup with the Etobicoke Rangers for the Nationals last year. Currently, so far this season, 5-2 and 36 2/3 innings, 39 hits, 28 runs, 13 of them earned. That one fouled into the netting for strike 2. It's 22 walks and 36 strikeouts, and currently sporting a 3.19 ERA. Here's the pitch from Robertson. That one's going to get fouled back and out of play. Miles, known as one of the better defensive center fielders in the province. Currently hitting .365 on the season with 19 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. He scored 12 times and has 8 RBIs as that one's going to miss up and in for a ball. And certainly in this game, you're going to have to think that its pitching is going to be very important. Horvath has pitched in these big games before and certainly knows how to navigate if he does even get into some trouble, as Miles swings and misses at that one for strike 3. He is down on strikes for the first out.
Second baseman number 19, Caden Gomes.
For Robertson, again, being their second year in the senior league, they have seen lots of these teams before, played in some battle-tested games last year in this tournament as they went into the final 5. So should be a very interesting game as this one goes through. That one misses outside for ball 1 to second baseman Caden Gomes. Gomes on the season, .337, 32 hits. That is a team high, 8 doubles, 3 home runs. He's also scored 31 times and has collected 11 RBIs. 2-0 pitch from Robertson. That one belted to center field. Skarupski going to make his way in. He'll camp under that and make the catch.
Shortstop number 16, Dan Workington.
Just like that, there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. It'll be Tecumseh shortstop Dan Workington digging in for his first at bat of the game. Work on the season, .365, 19 hits, 5 doubles, 2 home runs. Scored 19 times and has 16 RBIs on the season, which is a team high. Robertson set at the belt. Here's the first pitch. That one fouled into the netting for strike 1. Ben, thanks for joining in all the way from PEI. I know you told me you're out there on vacation. One of our great sponsors that's helped out our CABC website this year with Benny's Sportswear. We appreciate their support as well as all of our sponsors. That pitch misses up in the zone for a ball. One pitch fouled into the netting for strike 2. So Robertson up in this count, 1-2 against the shortstop, Dan Workington. No score as we play in this game. Bottom of the first inning here at Bert Lacasse Park. 1-2 pitch from Robertson. Inside, that's going to catch Workington in the leg. So he will make his way to first.
First baseman number 27.
So the 2-out base runner will give Tecumseh first baseman Cam Goddard a shot here in the first. First pitch to Goddard. Just misses down and away for ball 1. Goddard on the year, 354, 23 hits, 5 doubles, 3 home runs, 17 runs scored, and 15 RBIs for his season so far. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Curveball in there for strike 1. We alluded to this last game a little bit, and where pitchers find success at this level is pitching backwards, using your off-speed stuff and trusting it in fastball counts. That one is popped up behind the dish. Brady Hall going to give it a look. That is going to be off the grandstand and out of play. So the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And just in the bottom of the first here, no score. Goddard going to dig back in. Dan Workington takes his lead from first. He just reached via hit by a pitch. Robertson going to give him a look at first. He's back safely. Certainly towards the end of the last game and into this one, we've noticed the humidity has kicked up a little bit here in the Tecumseh area. That pitch to Goddard way up in the zone for ball 2. It's the count 2-2 now. Right fielder Ross Barker waits on deck. That pitch misses down and away for ball 3. So full count with 2 outs here. Workington going to be on the move on the pitch. Full count pitch from Robertson. That one chopped towards second base. Going to be a tough play for Krish. He throws on the run. And able to retire Cam Goddard in time. And that is all for the Tecumseh Thunder here in the bottom of the first inning.
For Tecumseh in the bottom of the first, no runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left.
So for Tecumseh in the bottom half of the first inning, no runs on no hits. There were no Waterloo errors, and they leave 1 runner on base. The score after 1 complete inning of play. It remains scoreless between the Waterloo Tigers and the Tecumseh Thunder. When we come back in the top of the second inning, we'll start to try and get some updates for you from the other games that are happening across the region here at the 3 p.m. time slot. Again, 3 other games happening. 1 at Soulier Diamond, 1 at the Cullen Stadium, as well as 1 out in Woodsley. So we'll get to those scores just when we get back. Day 1 action of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier, with action brought to you by CABC Baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Top of the second inning here at Bert Lacasse Park in game number 7 of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier. It will be first baseman Nolan Misa to lead things off for the Waterloo Tigers. Third baseman Steve Whalen due up second. Second baseman Varun Krish due up third. That fastball going to get fouled into the netting for a strike. So 1-1 the count here on Nolan Misa. That ball chopped to third base. Going to be a tough play. He gets it across the diamond in time. Good play there by Kalman Chiz. Looked like the runner was out, but called safe.
Can we see the replay?
Steve Whalen.
So the leadoff runner aboard here for the Waterloo Tigers as Nolan Misa beats out that little chopper to third base. That pitch in there for strike one to third baseman Steve Whalen. And we're doing our best to try and get around to some updates here. We're just pulling up all the games so far. Runner takes off to second. Throw from Cunningham. They're in plenty of time. Again, a veteran presence behind the dish. Good throw there from Eric Cunningham as he's able to get the base runner Nolan Misa in plenty of time for the first out here in the top of the second. The count now 1 strike on the batter. That pitch in there for a strike. So the count now 0-2. So the other games that are happening during this time slot over at the stadium at Cullen Field, it is the Oakville A's and the Kendall Eagles playing over there. Umpire says yes on the swing. So Whalen going to be down on strikes for the second out of this inning.
Second baseman number 25, Baron Krishna Makaru.
At the Soulier Diamond, it is the Milton Red Sox and the Burlington Brants playing there in an All-Coba League matchup. And out at Reg Chevalier Field in Woodsley, it is the East York Bulldogs and Sarnia Brigade that are playing out there as that pitch misses for ball 1. To second baseman Varun Krish. So we'll keep an eye on those games for you as we make our way through the afternoon here. And we'll try and get you updates while our game is online. But you can also check Game Changer to get updates if you're following those teams. If you're not following those teams, you can certainly search them up by looking at the schedule that's on our CABC baseball page. We have already updated the 12 o'clock scores and have those posted on the page, as well as the matchups that are going to take place between those winners and losers later tonight and tomorrow. In those games, it was the Windsor Stars defeating Northumberland 5-1 at Cullen. At Soulier, it was the Etobicoke Rangers defeating the Windsor Athletics by a score of 14-7. In our game here at Lacasse Park, that ball's fouled into the netting. It was Brad Verhoeven who was the hero for the Riverhawks as he belted a solo walk-off home run in the 7th to defeat the Leaside Leafs 4-3. In the game out at Woodsley Park, it was the Thornhill Reds moving to 1-0 as they defeat the Arundel Cardinals by a score of 7-5. And out in Amherstburg at Libero Field, it was the Newmarket Hawks going to 1-0 with a 13-4 win over the Brampton Royals. So all those scores are updated on our webpage as Varun Krish swings and misses at that pitch. Very quickly, Chris Horvath has racked up 4 strikeouts here in 2 innings as their Waterloo team has sat down in order again here in the second.
For Waterloo in the top of the second, and no runs on one hit. There were no errors and no runners left.
So for Waterloo in their half of the second inning, there were no runs on one hit. There were no errors and no runners, left on base. The score after 1 1/2 innings of play here at Bert Lacasse Park, it remains the Tecumseh Thunder 0, the Waterloo Tigers 0. Thank you so much for joining in on our stream with us this afternoon. We greatly appreciate everyone taking part of their Friday to spend with us. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from the chat. Always great to hear from people. We're expecting a very large viewership from across Ontario for sure, and certainly looking at a national audience to see who will be Ontario's representative this year at the 2026 Men's Canadian Championships, which will take place in mid-August out in Chatham, New Brunswick at Ironman Field. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here in a second for the bottom of the second inning. So we are set to go bottom of the second inning. It will be right fielder Ross Barker to lead things off for the Thunder as he belts that ball to left field, but it is going to hook foul out of play into the Tecumseh bullpen. 5, 6, 7 due up this inning. Catcher Eric Cunningham waits on deck. He's due up second. It'll be the designated hitter Noah Ruddle due up third. Count 0-1 here on Barker. Here's the pitch. Change up and in for a ball. Good location there from Robertson, unable to get Barker to chase though. 1-1 pitch. That one also belted down the left field line, but it will hook foul. Two good pieces there by Barker, but unable to keep one in play here so far. Robertson has his sign and comes set. Here's the pitch. Curveball hit to right field. That is going to be trouble if it's fair, and it is fair, and into the right field corner. Barker makes his way around second and will end up at second base standing up. Barker's 7th double on the year.
Catcher number 3, Eric Cunningham.
Good time for that as the leadoff runner now aboard for the Thunder here in the bottom of the second inning, Barker so far on the year, .321 batting average, 25 hits, good for second on the team, 6 doubles, now 7 with that one, 2 home runs, 12 runs scored, and 15 RBIs. As catcher Eric Cunningham going to step in for his first at bat, and Cunningham has to be one of those guys that you hate playing against, but you love having him on your team. Just the ultimate intensity guy, always ready to go. 1-0 pitch from Robertson. Slider that's going to miss the outside corner for ball 2. Cunningham on the year, very limited action for him. Only 5 games, batting .154. 2 hits and 13 at bats. He scored a run with a pair of RBIs. That fastball hacked on. It's going to be fouled back and out of play. Cunningham always does a great job of handling this pitching staff for the Thunder. As immediately they have a runner in scoring position here with nobody out. The leadoff double from Ross Barker. Couple of looks from Robertson back to second. Here's the pitch. That one hit on the ground towards shortstop. That's going to be a tough play for Alp. He does make the grab. So that will be an infield single for Cunningham.
Hitter number 32, Noah Ruddle.
And certainly you have to think that that saves a run there, as Barker was on the move on the hit. Alp does a great job of keeping that on the infield. Apologies, we must have hit our out button there by a mistake. Certainly not 3 outs right now. There are none. So Cunningham, the lead from first. Ross Barker, the runner at third. That ball hit up the middle by Noah Ruddle. And Noah Ruddle has driven in the first run in this game as he has an RBI single up the middle.
Left fielder number 24, Austin Olds.
So 1-0 Tecumseh here on the power of that RBI single off the bat of Noah Ruddle. That is 3 hits in a row for the Thunder here in the inning. The batter, Austin Olds, squares the bunt. He takes ball 1. Cunningham, the runner at second. Noah Ruddle, the runner at first. He just collected that RBI, driving in Ross Barker, who led off the inning with a stand-up double. Here's the pitch, squares the bunt again. That one fouled off at the dish. That one catches a piece of both Brady Hall and the umpire, so Hall going to go for a quick walk here to give the umpire a second to get himself together here. And if you're joining on the stream, thank you for the support this weekend. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to have lots of action for you throughout the weekend. 1-1 pitch from Robertson, squares the bunt again. That one fouled into the netting. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch to Olds. That fastball going to catch him in the elbow. The umpire says he's going to stay at the plate. So that pitch will be recorded as a ball. The umpire is saying the batter is going to stay at the plate as he did not make an attempt to get out of the way of the pitch. So the count now 2-2. So Olds will collect his bat and come back here. Again, 1-0 Tecumseh here as we play in the bottom of the second inning. RBI single from Noah Ruddle has propelled them into the lead. There goes Cunningham to third. That pitch misses down. And certainly you have to think that Cunningham was able to pick up something there in the windup from Robertson as he was off and going before he even delivered that pitch. Full count offering to Olds. That one popped up, short center field. Sean Alp's going to make the call. He'll make the catch. No tag at third. So Olds will be the first out here in the bottom of the second.
Third baseman number 18, Calvin Chiz.
So runners remain at the corners with 1 out. It will be third baseman Calvin Chiz, batting 9th in the order for the Thunder, who steps in. First pitch. Umpire says low for ball 1. Robertson set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball. It's going to be fouled up into the upper part of the netting. And foul. Count evens out 1-1 now. After this half inning, we'll get to some updates for you from other games around the region. Runner takes off to second. That one fouled off by Chiz. So Noah Ruddle going to make his way back to first. Good pitchers duel out in Woodsley this afternoon with left-hander Niall Windler throwing for the East York Bulldogs, taking on young right-hander Seth Ainsworth of the Sarnia Brigade. Certainly should be a good game to follow. You can find that one on Game Changer. Both teams are on there, the East York Bulldogs and the Sarnia Brigade. Gonna check over on Ruddle at first. He's back safely. Robertson set 1-2 the count here on Chiz. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. That is a called strike 3. Second strikeout of the afternoon.
Center fielder number 1
for Adam
Miles
Robertson.
Miller
Is the second out here in the bottom of the second inning. So Robertson trying to work himself out of a bit of a jam here. 1 run across already for the Tecumseh Thunder. With runners on the corners and 2 outs, we're back to the top of the order for center fielder Miles Miller. And we are going to get a trip to the mound here by Waterloo bench boss Reggie Castilla. I'm sure with runners on the corners here, probably going over some defensive strategy in case the runner does take off from first. While we do have the break, we will get to those updates now quickly. In the game at Cullen, it is an early 1-0 lead for Kendall as they play in the top of the second inning over the Oakville A's. In the game happening over at Soulier Diamond, it does look like they are through 1 inning of play. And it is 0-0 between the Milton Red Sox and the Burlington Brants. And in that other game out at Reg Chevalier Field in Woodsley, it is 0-0 there as that game cruising along fast as they're in the bottom of the third already. Like we said, should be a great pitcher's duel there between Seth Ainsworth of the Sarnia Brigade and Niall Windler of the East York Bulldogs. That slider drops in there for strike 1 to Miles Miller. Miller 0 for 1 today, struck out in his first at bat. A 1 pitch from Robertson. Fastball that misses up and away for a ball. Count now 1-1. Robertson with a couple of checks to first. Here's the pitch. Nice fastball there with some movement back over the corner for strike 2. The count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pretty good tail on that fastball from Robertson. That one came back over the outside corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slider, that's going to be chopped to first. Misa's going to make the play, and he dives to first base. Good play there by Nolan Misa as he's able to beat the speedy Miles Miller to first. And that is all for the Thunder here in the bottom of the second inning. But they do open the scoring in this one, though, grabbing a run in this inning.
For Tecumseh in the bottom of the second, the 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left.
So for the Thunder in their half of the second inning, 1 run on 3 hits. There were no Waterloo errors, and the Thunder leave 2 runners on base. The score after 2 complete innings of play here at Bert Lacasse Park in beautiful Tecumseh, Ontario. It is the Tecumseh Thunder 1 and the Waterloo Tigers no score. We're going to take a quick break here on our podcast or on our broadcast. Excuse me. We'll be right back with continuing action on day 1 here of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier Tournament. with action brought to you by CABC Baseball. We'll be right back in a second. Just about set for the top of the third inning here at Bert Lacasse Park. An RBI single off the bat of designated hitter Noah Ruddle has given the Tecumseh Thunder a 1-0 lead in this game.
Leading off the
Head to the top of the third.
Waterloo Tigers, the right fielder, number 56, Gav Pereira.
Bottom third of the order due up here for the Tigers in the third inning. It will be right fielder Gabriel Pereira due up first. Catcher Brady Hall waits on deck. And the center fielder Justin Skorupski due up third as they are facing right-hander Chris Horvath. Delivers a fastball there for strike one, and Horvath has looked pretty dominant so far in this one, not allowing a hit through 2 innings. Allowing 1 hit through 2 innings with 4 strikeouts. That pitch going to miss inside, and that one is definitely going to hurt. As Pereira going to start to make his way to first, and then he's going to go down. Certainly that one caught him right in the side of the knee. So we'll reset our scoreboard to the top of the third. So Pereira definitely going to need a second here to make his way back to his feet. So we'll take a quick break while the training staff and the coaches attend to him, and we'll be right back. So Pereira has finally made his way back to first. It looks like he's going to give it a bit of a test run here just to see how the leg is feeling. Doing a couple of sprints down the line here. Certainly you'd have to think in this type of tournament, you work all season to get here, and it's going to have to be something pretty serious for him to come out of this game, but looks like he's going to stay in. He takes a second to get his helmet and stuff on.
Brady Hall.
So we do have a runner at first here, and it's going to be catcher Brady Hall, who digs in for his first at bat of the afternoon off Chris Horvath. He squares the bunt. Here's the pitch. That one fouled into the netting. Both corners crashing there for the Tecumseh defense. Cam Goddard at first. Kalman Chiz at third. Just quickly, we didn't go over the defensive alignments, but left field for the Tecumseh Thunder is Austin Old. Center field, Miles Miller. In right field, we have Ross Barker. Third base, Kalman Chiz. Shortstop is Dan Workington. At second base, we have Caden Gomes. As that one going to get fouled off at the plate as well. Playing first base today for the Thunder is Cam Goddard. Doing the catching, Eric Cunningham. And the starting pitcher is Chris Horvath, who finds himself up here in an 0-2 count against Hall. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hall. That one just misses the outside corner for a ball. Hall on the year batting .300 in a very limited role on the team. 3 hits and 10 at-bats. Has a pair of RBIs and 3 runs scored. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Horvath. That one is popped up behind the dish. Cunningham going to give it a look. And that is just going to pop out of his glove. Nice diving attempt there from Cunningham. Great effort. That gets a little bit of applause here from the crowd. And he talked about that intensity piece with Cunningham. He is not too happy with himself right now. Rightfully so, able to get a glove on that one, just couldn't squeeze it. Again, we have a few people asking through the stream, texting me a whole bunch of different ways that they're getting a hold of me. We will get to some updates after this half inning as that ball is popped up and out of play down the right field line. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes here on catcher Brady Hall. Horvath set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Slider swung on and missed. Backdoor throw to first. Not in time there, but Hall down on strikes for the first out here in the top of the third.
Center fielder number 12, Justin Skorupski.
So that will bring up center fielder Justin Skorupski, his first at bat. That ball chopped back to Horvath, throws to second, on to first. And Skorupski able to beat that throw to first. Very fast runner. He is a 22U call-up with the team. Very limited action for him this year, as he is 2 for 4 in 1 game that he's played. So he will remain at first with 2 outs here on the fielder's choice, as Pereira makes his way back to the bench. We hope he's okay. He took a pretty good pitch in the leg there from starting pitcher Chris Horvath. So we're back to the top of the order for shortstop Sean Alp, as he takes that curveball up and in for ball 1. Alp on the day 0 for 1, struck out his first at bat.
Sean Alp.
2 outs here. Top of the third inning, 1-0 Tecumseh Thunder in this one on the power of an RBI single from DH Noah Ruddle. Horvath able to pick off the runner Skorupski at first base as he caught him leaning there. Certainly was taking off to try and get into scoring position. The crafty veteran Horvath with the sharp throw over to Cam Goddard. And that is all for the Waterloo Tigers here in the top of the third.
Waterloo in the top of the third. No runs on, no hits. There were no errors and no runners left.
So for Waterloo in the top half of the third inning, no runs on no hits. There were no Tecumseh errors. There were no runners left on base. The score after 2.5 innings of play remains the Tecumseh Thunder 1 and the Waterloo Tigers no score. We'll take a quick break as left-hander Adam Robertson makes his way back out to the mound to continue his work here in this one. Day 1 action of the 2026 Ontario Men's National Qualifying Tournament, with action brought to you by CABC Baseball. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
For the Tecumseh Thunder, the second baseman, number 19, Caden Gomes.
Welcome back. Bottom of the third inning with the Tecumseh Thunder leading this game by a score of 1-0. That first pitch to Gomes misses down and in for ball 1. Gomes on the day 0 for 1 flew out to center field. We're going to give you our in-tournament update brought to you by Field of Dreams Baseball. Camps located around the GTA, offering 16 years of experience for kids that are looking for a great baseball experience. Over at the big stadium at Cullen Field, right now it is 1-1 between the Kendall Eagles and Oakville A's as that ball hit on the ground to shortstop Sean Alp. He throws to first. And Caden Gomes is retired for the first out here in the bottom of the third. At the Soulier Diamond, they're in the bottom of the third inning right now.
Dan Workington.
Bottom of the third inning at the Soulier Diamond. It is no score between the Burlington Brants and Milton Red Sox in that game. And out at Reg Chevalier Field in Woodsley, the East York Bulldogs have opened up a 4-0 lead over the Sarnia Brigade in that one. So we will keep an eye on those games for you. That in-tournament update brought to you by Field of Dreams Baseball Camps. We thank them for their support this year of the CABC website, as well as all our other sponsors this year. As Dan Workington with a big swing at that pitch. That is hit to right field. Shading the sun out there is right fielder Gabriel Pereira. He makes the catch.
First baseman, number 27, Cam Goddard.
And Workington down for the second out here in the bottom of the third inning. So first baseman Cam Goddard going to dig in. 0 for 1, grounded out to second base in his first at bat. Big hack at that slider and comes up empty for strike 1. Glad we're able to keep you amused while you're at work. And the Windsor, Ontario Birds. Count now 1-1 on that pitch missing outside. Here's the pitch from Adam Robertson. A little slider that misses up in the zone for ball 2. Here's the pitch. Out one popped up behind the plate. That is going to stay in play. Brady Hall with a look and the catch. And that is all for the Thunder here in the bottom of the 3rd inning as they go down in order.
Brady comes in the bottom of the 3rd. No runs on no hits. There were no errors and no runners left.
So for the Thunder in their half of the 3rd inning, no runs, no hits. There were no Waterloo errors. Nobody left on base. We continue to cruise along in this one, and we have a dandy going on here right now at Bert Lacasse Park. The score after 3 innings of play, it is the Tecumseh Thunder 1 and the Waterloo Tigers no score. We are going to take a quick break here on the broadcast. We thank everyone who's joining in. We see we're up to about 60 viewers on this game now. If you're looking for our games this weekend, CABC Baseball on YouTube. You'll be able to find us there. Our last game of the day will more than likely be here at the stadium as well, as we will carry a game at 7:30 between the winner of the Oakville and Kendall game against the winner of this game that you are watching right now. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Day 1 action of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifying Tournament, brought to you by CABC Baseball. We'll be right back.
Waterloo Tigers, the shortstop, number 39.
Welcome back to Bert Lacasse Park, top of the 4th inning between the Tecumseh Thunder and Waterloo Tigers, and we are back to the top of the order for the Tigers as shortstop Sean Alp going to lead things off here against right-hander Chris Horvath. His first pitch, fastball, the outside corner for strike 1. Left fielder Jack Symington due up 2nd. Designated hitter Jaden Kemp due up 3rd. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That slider is belted to left field, going to send the left fielder back a few steps. Good catch there from Austin Olds as he's able to come up with that one for the first out here in the top of the 4th. Our in-game recap so far brought to you by Inked
Left
Baseball.
fielder, number 33, Jack Symington.
And for all your baseball apparel and equipment needs, make sure you hit up Dave Flanagan and his team at Inked Baseball. One big inning separating these teams so far. For the Waterloo Tigers, they have no runs scored on just 1 hit off Chris Horvath, who has struck out 5 to this point. For the Tecumseh Thunder, they have 1 run on 3 hits and currently lead this game right now by a score of 1-0 as Symington takes a first pitch strike from Chris Horvath. That one fouled into the netting for strike 2. Symington 0 for 1 today, has grounded out to shortstop in his first at bat. Oh, 0-2 pitch from Horvath. Slider that's just up for ball 1. And just over an hour into this one, we're in the top of the fourth. This game cruising right along. That slider going to miss in the same spot for ball 2. A little bit of a smile there from Horvath as he was trying to get Symington to chase after that one. So count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that one going to run up and in. That's going to catch Symington in the shoulder. So with 1 out, the Tigers have a runner aboard here on the hit by pitch to Jack Symington. That is the second hit by pitch this game to charge to Chris Horvath.
Designated hitter number 24, Jaden Kemp.
So DH Jaden Kemp going to step in. 0 for 1, struck out in his first at bat. Horvath has his sign and comes set. Here's the pitch. That one in on the hands. That is going to get fouled just into the top of the netting for strike 1. And 1-0 to come see in this game. RBI single off the bat of Noah Ruddle has given the Thunder the lead in this one. Symington takes his lead from first. Here's the pitch from Horvath. That one going to hit right down the right field line, but it is going to tail foul into the Waterloo bullpen. So the count now, no balls and 2 strikes on the DH, Jaden Kemp. Horvath with a look in here to battery mate Eric Cunningham. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground towards first. That's going to get past a diving Cam Goddard into right field. Barker with a strong throw into the shortstop, Workington, as Symington gets the stop sign at second base. So
First baseman number 19, Nolan Misa.
First bit of pressure here by the Waterloo Tigers in this one, as they now have runners at first and second with 1 out, and it will be the first baseman and cleanup hitter Nolan Misa who steps in. First pitch. Fastball hit down the right field line, but foul. Misa 1 for 1 today. He had a single back in the second inning, but then was promptly thrown out trying to steal second base by Eric Cunningham. Here's the pitch. Slider, that's going to get popped up on the right side, but it will be back and out of play. Off the roof of the cabin, just over to the right of us. So the count, no balls, 2 strikes here on Nolan Misa. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that's going to get fouled into the backstop. So Misa able to keep himself alive. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Jack Symington, the runner on second base. Jaden Kemp, the runner at first. 0-2 pitch from Horvath. Fastball swung on and missed. Backdoor play at first. That goes off the shoulder of Jaden Kemp. And will just trickle to the left of Cam Goddard. So, big strikeout there for Horvath, his 6th on the afternoon, as that is the second out.
Third baseman number 45, Steve Whalen.
Second out here in the top of the 4th. Now we'll bring up third baseman Steve Whalen for his second at bat. It's 0 for 1 with one of those strikeouts back in the second inning. First pitch to Whalen, a fastball in the outside corner for strike one. No balls and one strike to count. That changeup going to tail outside for ball one.
I'm so sorry.
1-1 pitch from Horvath. In on the hands. That one going to get fouled off down the third base line. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes as Horvath has himself 1 pitch away from getting out of a little bit of a jam here in the top of the 4th. Tigers with runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Symington, the runner at second, he takes his lead. Jaden Kemp, who singled to right field, takes his lead from first. Here's the pitch from Horvath. Fastball swung on and missed. And that is strikeout number 7 on the afternoon for Horvath, as he's able to skate by, allowing a couple of runners here in this inning, and keeps the Tigers scoreless here through 4 innings.
For Waterloo in the top of the 4th, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left.
So for Waterloo in their half of the 4th inning, they scored no runs on 1 hit. There were no Tecumseh errors, and Waterloo leaves 2 runners on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Bert Lacasse Park. The score remains the Tecumseh Thunder 1 and the Waterloo Tigers no score, as we have a beauty of a game going here. Adam Robertson makes his way back out to the mound, and we will make our way back here in a couple of minutes just after a short break. We'll be right back.
The right fielder, number 13, Ross Parker.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Bert Lacasse Park. The Tecumseh Thunder continue to lead this game by a score of 1-0. That pitch misses down and into right fielder Ross Barker. Joined this half inning by Etobicoke Rangers alumnus Kevin Breitner. Kevin, thanks for joining in for half an inning.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Certainly been a tight one here so far, as we're in a 1-0 game here. The team that you played for a while had a little bit of a tough go to start, but seemed to claw their way through a 14-7 win this morning against the Windsor Athletics over at Soulier Field. How do you think their chances are looking this year, and what do you see out of that team after a finalist appearance here last year and a trip to the Canadians?
I'm definitely not in on the day-to-day to what's going on with the team for sure, but I did talk to Andrew Hyde just a couple of weeks ago, one of their pitchers who I did play with. There's not many guys that I played with left on the team. I think about 4, maybe 5. But anyways, yeah, they seem to be a good team as always, competitive, and if they can put it together, they always got a chance. Pitching is going to be the question, and yeah, I think they have a chance for sure, right? You want to always cheer for your team. But my brother plays for Tecumseh Thunder, so
a little bit torn right now.
I cheer for both.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like having an AL and NL team.
That's it. That ball ripped to left center field. Sorry, but Justin Skrupski, pardon me, is going to saunter back and make the catch for the first out here. Certainly a little bit of the bad news situation for the Rangers coming into this week.
Catcher number 3, Eric Cunningham.
They found out that Max Gentile, unfortunately, is going to be done for the rest of the year with bone chips on his elbow. So that kind of hurts not having him around this year, as he was a big part of that run last year. But, certainly with Andrew Hyde there, being able to anchor that pitching staff. And I think more importantly, that one is roped down the left field line and just foul, as that one goes to the fence. I look at people like Ronan Hayes, Max Skordapatsky, who threw this morning, kind of younger guys that have been around the league for a few years, where, Andrew is certainly a very intense guy on the field when he's pitching, but I think I see him as a guy that's going to be able to help that pitching staff out as well, too, and in other ways, for sure.
Yeah, Andrew's baseball IQ is definitely high. He understands the game. He understands pitching. He's coached. I think he does mentor still with Home Run Sports. So he's involved with baseball in the day-to-day all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that ball was hit quite a ways by Cunningham, that he broke his bat at the same time, I guess, as it was hit off the hands. But, certainly, Kevin, you played in a number of these tournaments over your time with Etobicoke. Do you have a favorite memory that kind of sticks out?
Not one in particular memory, but one in particular season. 2004 was the year that I got to first win the Elims as a Etobicoke Ranger.
32.
That 2 years before that, I was around the team, but not officially on it.
Right.
But 04 was a lot of fun, a great year. And
certainly 2 good years for sure. And I know, getting a chance to go to Canadians, and I believe it was that 2004 team that was the kind of the last to go. For Etobicoke before they went last year as the finalist to Regina. And we apologize there for a little bit of a bump to my phone as it went down. Getting to see guys like Mark Capone, Ryan Panis, Daniel Murphy, and I know I'm missing guys that have been around that team for a while. They get that opportunity to go to Canadians. I'm sure, especially for Cab being in his 21st year, that it's probably a very special chance to be able to get there and play. And I'm sure they wanted to do better. They go 1-3, but certainly a great opportunity for him.
So I have a very long history with the team. I've been around it since I was a child, watching them, and I was there in '99 when they first won with a whole bunch of veterans, and how happy they all were to win. And then in 02 and 04, it was kind of 2 different teams. Believe it or not, there's actually only 6 Etobicoke Rangers that were on all 3 teams.
Wow.
One of them is Rick Malinowski, whose son Nate is pitching for Arundel, or did pitch for Arundel today, and threw a gem through 6. From what I heard, that was the game I stopped off in at Woodsley on my way into town.
No, for sure. And, seeing Rickford and, I'm sure some other guys that came up through those teams. I know one guy that sneaks to mind for me is the General, who was around that team for a while too. And certainly those, just from what I read about those teams, as I didn't start playing in Ontario until 2007, but they had one of the most feared hitting lineups, not only in Ontario but in the country, with those guys that they had on that team. And certainly, through those late 90s to the early 2000s, was one of the scariest teams to play against, I think, personally.
99, they definitely had a lot of big bats that could hit the ball a long way. That was an interesting year, a fun year. Again, I was just 18, but I was around there because Sean Hill, who ended up going to the major leagues, was on our junior team at that time. That was my last year junior, and Sean is a year younger than me.
Right.
And I got to be in uniform in 99 as an 18-year-old, but I'm pretty sure that was just to make me feel good. My job was to drive Sean from Mississauga to Ottawa.
That ball laced into the gap by Austin Olds, as he's going to put on the brakes at first. Noah Ruddle, who walked previous to his at-bat, makes his way to third. So we have runners on the corners now for the Thunder.
Third baseman number
2 outs.
18, Calman
And
Chiz.
it will be 22U call-up Calman Chiz, who makes his way to the plate for his second at-bat. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout back in the second. But no, you know, I would certainly have to think, Kevin, that
ball's also hit hard.
that ball's hit hard by Chiz.
Gone.
That ball is out of here. That just gets over the fence in left center field. Chiz giving a salute to the bench on the way around. And he'll make his way to the plate here as that big 3-run shot has now given the Thunder a 4-1 lead in this game. Good piece of that baseball there by Calman Chiz as he drives that one over the 360 sign in left center field and has extended the Tecumseh lead now to 4-0 in this game. And you got to think that one's going to sting a little bit. You know, a tight 1-0 game, and you're 1 out away from getting out of that, and all of a sudden a 3-run home run puts you in a little bit of trouble here right now. But Kevin, for yourself, you stopped playing, if I remember right, in 21?
No,
was it before then?
So Dad died in 18. I played one more season after that. So I didn't play in 19.
Okay.
And then COVID happened
Right.
after that, which was fun for everybody involved.
That obviously shut everyone down for a while.
Yep. There was no coming back as a pitcher after not throwing for 2 years. I pitched in a over 31 league with a couple of friends that were a little bit older than me and had retired in Burlington, a vintage league, which was fun. There were some older guys than me from our league that we played against, or I played against as a kid. That Colin Cummings, for example, who sadly left us just a few months back, or even in the last year for sure. Anyways, it was recent.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was a fun league to keep playing after I was done playing at this level. Tried to play a little bit longer.
Right. So that walk to Miles Miller has a runner on first here for the Thunder. We're going to get a quick trip to the mound here by Chris Folks. I was out chatting with Brady Hall and pitcher Adam Robertson, who was cruising along pretty good in this one. Had only given up the 1 run, and then
second baseman number 19, Caden Gomes.
the big 3-run home run off the bat of 22U call-up Calman Chiz has extended a Thunder lead here to 4-0 in this game. That ball roped down the field. What a play there by Stephen Whalen. Wow.
Full extension.
Full extension there at third base to make that play. But Kevin, thank you so much for hanging out for a half inning. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
and
that was fun.
Great to see you down here watching, and all the best to Kyle and the boys. And I know you said you're going back after today, but we'll try and follow along as much as we can for you.
Thank you. I'll be watching later on.
All
Cheers.
right.
Thanks, Dan. Good to see you.
Perfect. All right, that was former Etobicoke Rangers pitcher Kevin Breitner joining us for the half inning.
Comes in the bottom of the fourth, 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left.
So for the Thunder in their half of the 4th inning, they get 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no Waterloo errors.
Concession stand is open
and there was 1 runner left on base.
They are serving popcorn, hot dogs, water, pop, sports drinks, chips, candy, and sunflower seeds.
So the score after 4 complete innings of play in this game here at Bert Lacasse Park, it is the Tecumseh Thunder who extend their lead in this one to 4-0 over the Waterloo Tigers. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the top of the 5th. Just after a short break, continuing action on day 1 of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier Tournament, brought to you by CABC. We'll be right back. All right, we're back for the top of the 5th inning. Again, a huge thank you to former Etobicoke Rangers pitcher Kevin Breitner for joining us in that last half inning. I got so excited there, we actually knocked the phone off on the stream, so we apologize about that. But looks like we're back up and going here now. As a little check swing there by Varun Krish as he hits that one down to Cam Goddard at first base. So he is retired for the first out here in the 5th.
Right fielder number 56, Gav Pereira.
So 1 pitch, 1 out here for Chris Horvath, who has looked pretty sharp in this one so far. No runs allowed and only 2 hits through 4 innings. As right fielder Gabriel Pereira going to step in. He laces one to left field for a single on the first pitch that he sees from Horvath. And the Waterloo Tigers have a 1-out base runner here.
Catcher number 28, Brady Hall.
So catcher Brady Hall going to dig in for his second at bat, 0 for 1. He struck out in his first at bat. Horvath set. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. A 1 pitch from Horvath. That one fouled into the netting for strike 2, just in front of us. So the count now, no balls, 2 strikes. And 4-0 for the Tecumseh Thunder in this one as we play in the top of the 5th. An RBI single from Noah Ruddle back in the 2nd inning. A big 3-run home run from call-up Calman Chiz in the last inning has given the Thunder their 4-0 lead here as Hall will fly out to right field for the second out here in the 5th.
Center fielder number 12, Justin Skorupski.
So it'll be number 9 hitter Justin Skorupski, the center fielder, digging in now. He's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Back in the 3rd. Good hack at that pitch. He comes up empty on that one for strike 1. And I apologize here. We're playing with the camera a little bit just to try and get it sorted out. A 1 pitch. That slider up and in for ball 1. That pitch in there for a strike, so the count runs now to 1-2 on the center fielder Skorupski. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That fastball down and in for a ball. Good location there, but that one misses just down for ball 2. For 4-0 Tecumseh here. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Runner at first is Gabriel Pereira. That fastball swung on and missed by Justin Skorupski. And that is all for the Tigers here in the top half of the 5th inning.
For Waterloo in the top of the 5th, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left.
So in the top of the 5th inning for the Tigers, they get no runs on 1 hit. There were no Tecumseh errors and 1 runner left on base. That strikeout is number 8 on the afternoon for Chris Horvath. While we got a second here between innings, we'll do some updating for everyone, as it's been a couple of innings since we have we've made a couple of updates here. We're just getting everything loaded up and ready to go here. In the game over at the stadium right now at Cullen Field, they are playing in the bottom of the 4th inning right now. It is 4-4 between the Oakville A's and the Kendall Eagles in that game. Just across the way at the Soulier Diamond, it is the Milton Red Sox 4, the Burlington Brants 3, as they play in the bottom of the 5th inning in that game.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Tecumseh Thunder, the shortstop, number 16, Dan Workington.
And out at Reg Chevalier Field in Waterloo, it is a complete turnaround from our last update, as the Sarnia Brigade have put up 7 unanswered runs in that game. And they currently lead that game 7-4 as they play in the bottom of the 4th inning. So we'll keep an eye on all 3 of those games for you. Those are the 3 going on right now, along with our feature game here at Lacasse Park that we have for you. 4-0 Tecumseh in this one, as shortstop Dan Workington leads things off here for the Thunder. Good play there by Varun Krish at second. Throw to first. And Nolan Misa unable to pick that one up. And Workington able to reach
First baseman
on
number
the hit.
27, Cam Goddard.
Nice play there by Varun Krish as he fully extends there at second base. Able to get a strong throw up to first, but Nolan Misa unable to squeeze it. So that will go down as a hit for Tecumseh. They're 6th on the afternoon, as that pitch misses down to big first baseman Cam Goddard. One-0 pitch from Robertson. That one in on the hands, and Goddard gets the barrel on that one, but it is going to sail well foul down the right field line for strike 1. Again, our next game, we are going to carry the game here at this diamond at 7:30. So that one's going to miss inside for a ball. 2-1 now the count on Cam Goddard. We're going to see what matchups we have and what travel time we're going to have as well, as that's something that's going to be important too. There will be 4 games coming up tonight. They're all kind of at scattered game times. That pitch just going to miss outside for a ball. Count now 3-1. As of right now, the schedule is showing that there will be games at... there'll be 5 games this evening. We're going to check it first. Workington back safely. The 6 p.m. game, we do know at Cullen Field, will be the Ajax Spartans taking on the Windsor Stars in that one. The 6 p.m. game at Woodsley Park is also going to be set, as that is an all-GTBL matchup between the Thornhill Reds and Newmarket Hawks. That pitch is going to miss outside for a ball. So Goddard will make his way to first on the walk. We now have runners at first and second. With nobody out,
Right
Ross
fielder,
Barker
number
coming up.
13, Ross Barker.
The other games we do know the game. There is a 5:30 game in Amherstburg that is going to be between the Etobicoke Rangers and Ilderton Riverhawks, which will probably be too far for us to get to. That ball is belted to left field, right at the left fielder though, as Jack Symington makes the grab there for the first out in the inning.
Catcher number 3, Eric Cunningham.
And then the other 2 games this evening will both be 7:30 starts. It will be the winner of Game 6 between Oakville and Kendall versus the winner of this game here, Game 7. And then the other 7:30 game will be at Soulier. It'll be the winner of Game 8 between the Milton Red Sox and Burlington Brants, taking on the winner of Game 9 between the Sarnia Brigade and the East York Bulldogs. That pitch is just going to miss up for ball one to catcher Eric Cunningham. So we'll kind of play around with the matchup, see what we get. If we can get something we can get to in time, we will go there. If not, we will just stay here and broadcast this game at 6 p.m. Or sorry, my apologies, 7:30 p.m. here. So that ball fouled out of play by Cunningham. So the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of looks to second base by Robertson. Here's the pitch. It's going to sail outside for a ball. And 4-0 Tecumseh Thunder here as we play bottom of the 5th inning. Dan Esty on the call here for the CABC. Glad you're able to join us this afternoon for game number 7 of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifying Tournament. We will be around for the weekend, streaming games at various locations. So the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Eric Cunningham. Here's the pitch from Robertson. Fastball up in the zone for ball 3. So the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cam Goddard, the runner at first. Dan Workington, the runner at second. Time called at the plate by Eric Cunningham. So everyone will step out and reset here. Full count pitch from Robertson. Up in the zone. And the Thunder now have the bases loaded. A pair of walks and a single.
Number 32, Noah Ruddle.
Noah Ruddle now stepping up to the plate. Ruddle's 1 for 1 today. He has a single back in the 2nd. He walked in the 4th and came around to score on the 3-run home run by Calvin Chiz. Certainly the Thunder looking to break this one open completely now. That pitch misses, is inside on the corner for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Slider down and in. They're going to check, and umpire says no swing. So the count even now. A 1 ball, 1 strike. The ball fouled back and out of play. So the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter, Noah Ruddle, a DH in today's game. Here's the pitch from Robertson. Down in the dirt, good block there by Brady Hall. Evens the count at 2s. Here's the pitch from Robertson. Fastball. Looked like it was pretty handy to the inside corner, but Umpy says she just misses. So the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 out here. Bases are loaded for the Thunder. Here's the pitch. That one hit on the ground towards shortstop. Good play there by Elp. Flips to second, on to first. Nisa unable to come up with that one. And that is going to bring in a pair of runs. Both Dan Workington and Cam Goddard come across the plate.
Left fielder number 24, Austin Olds.
So the score now 6-0 for Tecumseh as Austin Olds fouls that one back and out of play for strike one. Olds in this game 1 for 2. He had a single, scored a run back in the 4th inning. Popped out to the shortstop, Sean Alp, back in the 2nd. 0-1 pitch. That one's going to get fouled out of play as well down the right field line, just past the Waterloo bullpen. So very quickly, Robertson ahead 0-2 in this at bat. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Fastball that misses inside for ball one. Ruddle the lead from first. Here's the pitch. That one hit on the ground hard to shortstop. Good play there by Sean Alp. He'll flip to Varun Krish at second. And that is all for the Tecumseh Thunder here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. As they add to their lead in this game and currently lead now 6-0.
For Tecumseh in the bottom of the 5th, 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left.
So for Tecumseh in their half of the 5th inning, 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no Waterloo errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. The score after 5 complete innings of play here at Bert Lacasse Park. It is the Tecumseh Thunder leading this game by a score of 6-0 over the Waterloo Tigers. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back in a few minutes with the top of the 6th inning and some updates from our other games that are happening around the region right now in our 3 p.m. time slot. Day 1 action of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifying Tournament, brought to you by CABC Baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bert Lacasse Park, top of the 6th inning. Score is 6-0 Tecumseh Thunder over the Waterloo Tigers, and the Tigers are at the top of their order this inning. Shortstop Sean Alp takes a pitch down and away for ball one from veteran hurler Chris Horvath. That one going to find the outside corner for strike one. So the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike on Alp, who is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and fly out to left field. That slider going to get fouled into the backstop. So Alp now in a hole here, 1-2. Left fielder Jack Symington due up second this inning with the DH Jaden Kemp due up third. Here's the pitch from Horvath. That one belted to right center field. That's going to send Barker a long way back to the track at the wall. And that ball is out of here. So a solo home run off the bat of Sean Alp to lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Gives the Tigers a little bit of life in this one as they now trail 6-1.
Left fielder number 33, Jack Simonton.
So still a long way to go for the Tigers, but certainly a good start there as the solo home run from Sean Alp has them back within 5 now. Right fielder Jack Simonton going to dig in now as he takes a rip at that one. That is going to be short right field. The second baseman and right fielder both converge on that one. Does look like the right fielder Ross Barker makes the catch. Both guys seem to be okay as they're up and kind of checking each other out, making sure they're okay.
Number 24.
Certainly could have been a lot more dangerous there for sure, as they very narrowly missed colliding even more so with each other there. Either way, the Thunder have their first out here in the 6th, and then the DH, Jaden Kemp, will make his way up. He's 1 for 2 today with a single. Back in the 4th, struck out in the 1st. Cutter there from Horvath in there for strike 1. A 1 pitch from Horvath, another cutter. That's going to get fouled out of play. Over the cabin to our right. So the count now 0-2 on Jaden Kemp. First baseman Nolan Nisa waits on deck. Another good slider there from Horvath, and Kemp takes a hack at that one, comes up empty. And he is down on strikes for the second out here in the inning.
First baseman number 19, Nolan Misa.
So 2 outs here now after the solo home run off the bat of Sean Alp. That strikeout is number 9 on the afternoon for Horvath. That ball belted back up the middle, just past the head of Chris Horvath and into center field for a 2-out single.
Third baseman number 45, Steve Whalen.
A couple of hard hit baseballs by the Tigers in this half inning, as Misa makes his way to first with 2 outs. It will be the third baseman, Steve Whalen, who will step in now for his third at bat. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, but that last half inning had a spectacular diving play at third. Full extension as he dove and certainly took away a double that inning from Tecumseh. That pitch in the inside corner for strike 1. That ball popped up to mid left field. The catch going to be made there by Austin Olds. And that is all for the Tecumseh Thunder here in the, that's all for the Waterloo Tigers here in the 6th inning, but they are able to break the goose egg on the board on a solo home run by Sean Alp.
For Waterloo in the top of the 6th, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left.
So for Waterloo, in their half of the 6th inning, they get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Tecumseh errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. The score after 5.5 innings of play here at Bert Lacasse Park, it is the Tecumseh Thunder 6, the Waterloo Tigers 1. A few defensive changes here for the Waterloo Tigers, which we will get to in a couple of minutes when we come back from a short break. Day 1 action of the 2026 Ontario Men's AAA National Qualifier Tournament, with action brought to you by CABC Baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th inning here with the Tecumseh Thunder coming to the plate. And we do have a
Leading off the bottom
pitching
of the
change
sixth
here for
Tecumseh
the
Thunder,
Waterloo Tigers.
the third baseman, number 18, Kalman Chiz.
So we do have a pitching change here for the Waterloo Tigers. His right-hander, number 21, Scott Seifried, going to make his way into the game. He will face 9-1-2 here for the Thunder. His third baseman, Kalman Chiz, going to lead things off, and he hit a ball just over the 360 sign there in left center field. And his last at bat for a 3-run home run is takes another big hack at that pitch and fouls it back and out of play for strike one. So that closes the book on Waterloo starter Adam Robertson today as he goes 5 innings, allowing 6 runs on 6 hits. All 6 of those runs were earned, and he ends up with 2 strikeouts on the day, as well as 2 walks. That pitch misses for ball 1 from Seifried. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to miss outside for ball 2. Again, following this game, we will have the 7:30 game that we will more than likely be staying here to cover at Lacasse Park tonight. That pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Chiz, 1 for 2 today, a strikeout, and that 3-run home run back in the 4th. That game at 7:30, we don't know the opponents of that game yet. That pitch going to miss up for a ball. It will be the winner of the Oakville-Kendall game that is currently going on at the stadium at Micmac Park. And it will also feature the winner of this game as Chiz takes that pitch down and away for a ball. He'll make his way to first with the leadoff single, or leadoff walk, apologies.
Miles Miller.
So we're back to the top of the order here for center fielder Miles Miller, who's 0 for 2 today. He struck out, grounded out to first. He walked in his last at bat. Chiz with a pretty healthy lead over at first. That pitch taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Seifried comes set. Here's the pitch. That one hit towards center field. Skorupski going to go a little bit to his left and back towards the fence. He'll make the catch. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Second baseman, number 19, Caden Gomes.
So that will bring up Thunder's second baseman, Caden Gomes. 0 for 3 today. Flew out the left field back in the first, 3rd inning, grounded out to shortstop Sean Elp. And then in the 4th inning was robbed by Steve Whalen at third base on that diving play. That pitch down in the dirt, good block there by Brady Hall. So he's able to keep Chiz at first. So the count 1-0. So the runner was on the move on that play. Alp able to knock down the ball, but
shortstop number 16.
Both runners are going to be safe here.
Workington.
The runners at first and second base now. Again, another ball deep in the hole at shortstop. First hit of the day for Caden Gomes as shortstop Dan Workington going to step in now. He hits that ball towards third base. Good play there by Steve Whalen. Second, on to first. That was a pretty close play at first, but that will be a 5-4-3 around the horn double play there for the Waterloo Tigers. And that will end the inning here for the Thunder without any damage done. Keeps the score right now at 6-1.
40 comes in the bottom of the sixth. No runs on one hit. There were no errors.
So for the Thunder in the home half of the sixth inning, no runs on one hit. There were no Waterloo errors. And there was one runner left on base. The score after 6 complete innings of play. It remains the Tecumseh Thunder 6 and the Waterloo Tigers 1. Chris Horvath going to make his way back out to the mound here as he will try and finish this game up and go the distance. With the Waterloo Tigers looking to try and extend this game if they can. We will go through some updates here instead of going for our normal break, just to see where the other games are sitting at that are being played around the region right now in our 3 p.m. time slot. And again, if you're looking for full results, all you have to do is go to our webpage, CABC Baseball, and you will see the tab there for the Ontario National Qualifier Tournament. And you'll see the games there from this morning. At the Soulier Diamond right now, they are playing currently in the top of the 6th inning. The Milton Red Sox have extended their lead in that game a little bit over the Burlington Brants. They now lead that game by a score of 6-3. At the stadium, at Cullen Field, the Oakville A's have taken the lead in the bottom of the 5th of that game. Currently lead that one 6-4. And out at Red Chevalier Field in Woodsley, they are playing in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Sarnia Brigade continue to lead that game by a score of 9-4 over the East York Bulldogs. So we'll keep an eye on all of those games for you to see what's happening in those as long as we're on the air
Leading off the
here.
top of the 7th for the Waterloo Tigers. And batting for Krishna Magaro, number 3, Wade Sage.
So we do have a pinch hitter here to start the 7th inning for the Waterloo Tigers, as Wade Sage is going to take some swings here for second baseman Varun Krish. Our in-house PA announcer is a lot better than me, as I have tried to say Varun's regular last name a number of times and still haven't gotten it yet. So Coach Reggie just told me to stick with Varun Krish. That pitch taken outside for ball 2 by Wade Sage. 2-0 pitch from Horvath. That one taken for strike 1. Sage on the year hitting .370 with 10 hits and 27 at-bats. Has a pair of doubles, 2 RBIs, and has come around to score 10 times. 2-1 pitch from Horvath. Good hack there. That's going to get fouled back and out of play. For strike 2. Right fielder Gabriel Pereira due up second this inning for the Tigers. Catcher Brady Hall due up third. Again, we'll try and stay on the air as long as we can after this one to try and keep folks updated. That pitch runs inside for a ball. So Sage able to get out of the way of that one. Again, the 7:30 game here will feature the winner of this game taking on the winner of the Oakville-Kendall game, which is currently happening at the stadium at Micmac Park. That one popped up down the left field line. Calvin Chiz going to give it a look. Lots of room down there, and he makes the catch. Nice catch there by the young third baseman as he's able to wrangle that one in for the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Right fielder number 56, Gav Pereira.
So one out here in the 7th. That's going to bring up right fielder Gabriel Pereira. First pitch from Horvath. Fastball that misses inside for ball 1. Pereira on the day. 1 for 1. He had a single. He was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning as that one's going to sail up and away for a ball. So the count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Horvath with the sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, and that is roped to right field. And Pereira certainly has had the number of Chris Horvath today as he picks up his 2nd hit of the game and his 3rd time on base in this one.
Batting for hole number 8, Jack Anderson.
So another pinch hitter here for the Tigers as number 8, Jack Anderson, going to take some swings here for catcher Brady Hall. First pitch to Anderson. He takes a big hack at that. Comes up empty for strike 1. Anderson on the year, 333, 13 hits, and 46 plate appearances. 3 doubles, 9 RBIs. He's come around to score 6 times as he takes strike 2 from Chris Horvath. You know, outside of that solo home run that Horvath has given up, he's been pretty solid here this afternoon. He's scattered 6 hits so far over 6 1/3 innings. That fastball going to get fouled back to the backstop. You know, the 2 guys that have really seemed to have solved, or I guess 3 guys, if you look at the lineup, you had the solo home run from Sean Alp. Nolan Misa has a pair of hits this game as well. And Gab Pereira is 2 for 2 with the 2 singles and a hit by pitch. This Waterloo team unable to really get anything going, though, offensively, as that pitch misses outside for a ball. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, when we finish at the end of this one, we will go through some updates from the games that are still going on. As Anderson swings and misses at that one. And that is double-digit strikeouts today for Chris Horvath, as that is number 10 on the afternoon for him.
Center fielder number 12, Justin Skorupski.
So the Tigers down to their last out in this one now, as it will be center fielder Justin Skorupski making his way to the plate. 0 for 2 with the fielder's choice and a strikeout. First pitch. And a fastball that just misses down for ball 1. So 1-0 the count here on Skorupski. Sean Alp waits on deck if the game is extended here. That slider in there for strike 1. And again, you see Horvath's kind of veteran presence on the mound, that it's one of those guys. He's a big dude sitting at about 6'4" or so. And certainly gets right on top of you once he gets to the end of his release point. A backdoor throw down to first by Cunningham. Pereira back in safely. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes after that swing and miss from Justin Skorupski. Horvath with the look in. He has the sign he wants and comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Whew. Pretty handy, but just misses the outside corner for a ball. So count even now, 2-2. Another long look in here by Horvath. After a couple of shakes, he has the sign that he wants. Here's the pitch. Slider swung on and missed. And strikeout number 11 for Chris Horvath ends this game this afternoon. So for Waterloo in the top of the 7th inning, they get no runs on 1 hit.
hit.
There were no
There are
Tecumseh errors.
and 1 runner left. Tecumseh
There's
will
nobody
now play
left
the
on base
7:30 game here at Lacoste
in this
Park.
inning for the Tigers. The
That'll be
final
this
score
evening.
here from Bert Lacasse Park. It is the Tecumseh Thunder who moved to 1-0 at this year's event as they defeat the Waterloo Tigers by a score of 6-1. Again, we're going to do a little bit of scoreboard watching now. We'll quickly update the games here before we go off the air to see who's sitting where in the other 3 games that are happening right now, which we will do very quickly while we're still on the air. The Oakville A's have broken things open over at Cullen Field in the bottom of the 5th as they have scored 6 runs this inning and continue to play in the bottom of the 5th as they lead the Kendall Eagles by a score of 10-4 in that game. Checking over on the Soulier Diamond and the All-Coba Major Baseball League matchup between the Milton Red Sox and the Burlington Brants. The Red Sox have broken that game open as well as they currently lead the Burlington Brants by a score of 10-3 in that game. And in the final game that's happening at this 3 p.m. time slot right now, as we make our way out to Reg Chevalier Field, the Sarnia Brigade continue to tack on runs there in the bottom of the 6th as they lead the East York Bulldogs by a score of 12-4 in that game. So again, we're going to get the website updated once we get these scores in. We'll get everything plugged into the website. We are more than likely going to stay here at Lacasse Park for the 7:30 game that is going to take place here. We do know the Tecumseh Thunder are going to be playing in that game at 7:30. We do not know who their opponent is going to be yet, as that game is still ongoing. But the Oakville A's currently lead that game right now by a score of 10-4 over the Kendall Eagles. So we're going to sign off for now and make sure you check into our website at cabcbaseball.com. Once we get some final scores, we'll plug them in there for you. The final score again here from Bert Lacasse Park this afternoon. It is the Tecumseh Thunder 6, the Waterloo Tigers 1. Winning pitcher this afternoon for the Tecumseh Thunder is Chris Horvath. The losing pitcher this afternoon for the Waterloo Tigers is left-hander Adam Robertson. Big home run off the bat of Calvin Chiz for the Tecumseh Thunder, a 3-run shot. A solo home run for Sean Alp in this one as well. Again, thank you so much for joining into the stream. We will be back at 7:30. It will be the Tecumseh Thunder against either the Oakville A's or the Kendall Eagles in that game. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you later tonight.